expressionsvinyl.com, and today I'm going to show you how I made a customized dog bandana using the knockout method. And I used 3 types of vinyl, and I will go more in depth on how I went about creating this image. So I got this dog image from the silhouette store that I purchased, and originally it came with 4 paws. I'm only going to use 2, so I'm going to ungroup and delete what I don't need. Going to delete these 2, and I'm going to release this compound path because I don't need these triangles in here. And so I'm left with an inner layer and then what looks like the offset layer. And so since I'm going to be using 3 types of vinyl, I'm going to be having 3 different images at the end of this. So I'm going to first duplicate this image with the hearts and the circles, and you can modify. What I did with my pattern was delete all the circles and add more hearts to fill in those spaces, but I'm just going to work with what this image is right now. And I'm going to duplicate this one again and set it to the side right there. And so with this one, I'm going to ungroup and also release the compound path. I only want the hearts and the circles, so I'm going to be deleting the outer layer that make up the paw image. And now that that is selected, I'm just going to go to Modify, the Modify tab, and click Crop, and that will remove the outer layers that I don't need. And this is going to be what I'm going to be using for the Glitter Jade. So I'm going to group this and then add a weeding box. And you can go ahead and fill it into any color that you're using. I usually leave mine colorless, just because I know what color it's going to be, but just an example, just like that. So you can pick any color and then group it, and then put this layer to the side. And the next layer, this one is going to be the inner layer or the middle layer. And originally when I first pressed this image onto the bandana, the EasyWeed shrunk a little bit, so I'm going to offset this image, and you just select that, go to the offset button, and I went with a 0.025, and it gives it a very thin offset. And I'm going to ungroup and release the compound path. That way we can delete the original middle layer, or the original inner layer. I'm going to redo that part. Okay, so first I'm going to ungroup and then release the compound path. Then we're going to offset and select it at a 0.25 and click Apply. And then we'll just be able to remove the original layer that we don't need. And then we'll group this one together and then add the weeding box around it. And then you can go ahead and put that one aside, and you can color that one in as well, but I'll just leave that one colorless. And so the outer layer we're going to ungroup and release the compound path. And we don't need the circles and the hearts in here because they're going to be weeded out anyways, so we'll save some weeding time by just removing them here. And you can modify it to any shapes that you want, but I thought the hearts were cute inside the paws. And in the beginning, I forgot to mention, that's where you could size your original image, because at this point it might be a little difficult trying to match up every piece. But this was a good size for what I originally used, so I just left it as it was. And then what we're going to do is, once we finish this part, we're going to group and then place it inside of the offset layer and align that however you'd like, and then we'll group this part. And add the weeding box around it. And this one's going to be in the gray Stripflock. You can see the original image did have this pattern that we originally were going for, but if you look at the pattern with the hearts and the circles, it has these little dips. So either way, we would have had to modify this one or modify this one, so it was just easier to delete the circles and the hearts. And then you can begin cutting. You can start with any one that you'd like, and then we'll put this all together. So once you're done cutting, you weed out whatever you don't need, and if you look at the gray, you remove the inner layer. This is going to be the outermost layer, and then the middle layer in the EasyWeed Electric, you just remove the hearts because we made the hearts into the Glitter Jade. And you can use any bandana. This one already had some type of pattern on it, but it was nice just to add a little bit more, make it a little bit more customized to whatever fits your dog best. We're going to first heat press just to warm it up just a bit. And you can just do that for a couple of seconds right before we do our first layer. Okay. And so you could see here, when you do a bandana, it goes around, you fold it in half. And I'm going to be working off these center pieces to align my image. So that was nice about this bandana. Helps me align. But you can align wherever you need, and whatever size your dog is, you can adjust to that as well. And so I'm going to be using the EasyWeed as the first layer. And then I'll add the Stripflock. So this one I'll cut down the time just because I'll be pressing two others. So we'll go about 5 to 6 seconds. Okay, and then we'll add the outer layer, the Stripflock. And offsetting it made it a lot easier to fit, and you can see, which I'll show you, that there weren't any extra holes as the original. So we'll press that one for about 8 seconds, and it's at 300 right now, so we okay. And Stripflock is a cold peel, so we're just going to wait a little bit, but I'll show you that the offset, how that works. So that worked out great. And then we'll add in the hearts. Okay, so there's that one, and then we'll finish off. And then we'll press this one for the full time. We don't need a Teflon sheet just because the whole image is covered, so everything is okay. And we'll remove this layer. And then if you want to go ahead and add the name of your pet, you can go ahead and do that. You can place it wherever you'd like. And we'll start with this layer. And press. And then I did an offset, so I'm adding in the inner layer for this. And then just peel that off, and then you are done. So right here you can see that the middle layer fit in well compared to the original one that I did with the original image. You can see that there's some extra space right here. So it's really up to you how you'd like to go about customizing your own dog bandana. And if you like this, make sure to subscribe, comment, and like, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.